We've been a leader in banking for more than 100 years. You'll find us here, at home, on your phone, and everywhere you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Sponsored by Renaissance Bank.
Hello and welcome to Newsbreak for Thursday, April 20th. I'm your host, Chris Kiefer. Remember, you can catch Newsbreak each weekday at 7 a.m. Watch us at djournal.com, Facebook, YouTube, or the Daily Journal's mobile apps for Apple and Android devices. Let's start with your Weather Underground forecast for today. We're looking at partly cloudy skies with a high of 86 and a low of 64 and a 20% chance of rain. Looking ahead at the 3-day forecast, Friday calls for thunderstorms, high of 82 and a low of 65 with a 90% chance of rain. Saturday, thunderstorm, high of 80 and a low of 52. A 90% chance of rain, and on Sunday, overcast skies with a high of 65 and a low of 49, a 10% chance of rain. Let's look now at today's top headlines. The Tupelo Public School District plans to add more classes to its pre-kindergarten program next year. The district recently completed a 6-classroom addition at the King Early Childhood Education Center so that it could reach more 4-year-olds. But it must ensure that it has the funds available to support more students before deciding on the exact number of classes the school can add. TPSD Superintendent Gerald Loden said right now the district intends to add 3 or 4 classes at ECEC for the 2017-18 school year. Currently, there are 210 students enrolled at ECEC. Enrollment is optional and the school has a waiting list. Loden said ECEC normally has a waiting list of about 2 or 3 classrooms worth of children. He said that adding classes next year could eliminate that list. ECEC also employs 1 teacher and 1 assistant teacher for each class of about 20 students. Adding classes would require hiring more staff. A national report card says that Mississippi has made significant gains in being prepared for public health emergencies. The state improved since 2013 on 4 out of the 5 broad categories on the National Health Security Index. That is according to a report released today by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. Mississippi still trails the nation with a score of 6.3 out of 10. The national average is 6.8. States in the Deep South and Mountain West continue to trail those in the Northeast and on the West Coast. The index looks at a broad range of resources needed to respond to a health crisis. Researchers will look at more than 130 measures in 5 broad categories. The index was originally put together by the Centers for Disease Control. Now, more than 30 organizations collaborate on the index. It is designed to drive improvement. This year's Empty Bowls luncheon raised more than $45,000 for the Salvation Army. Majors Jeff and Lisa Daniel met with members of the Salvation Army Women's Auxiliary on Wednesday to receive the funds from the March event. While the Women's Auxiliary came just short of its goal, this year's event surpassed last year's total of $37,000. The Women's Auxiliary is a volunteer branch of the Salvation Army that is made up of volunteer women. It holds several events throughout the year, like Empty Bowls and Angel Tree, that raise money for the Salvation Army. All funds raised at Empty Bowls go toward the Salvation Army's food programs. Next year marks the 20th anniversary of the Empty Bowls luncheon in Tupelo. Empty Bowls chairwoman Katrina Potter Patty said she and her colleagues have big plans for the event. And in sports, Smithville High School has named Michael Campbell its new head football coach. The 36-year-old was serving as Tupelo High School's co-offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. Campbell replaces former coach Chad Collins, who left the Class 1A program earlier this spring to become head coach at Raleigh. This will be Campbell's first head coaching job. Collins is a former Smithville player and won 32 games during his 3-year tenure with the Seminoles. His teams did not lose a division game during his final 2 years. Campbell shared play calling duties at THS with Cody Stubblefield and helped develop sophomore quarterback Stephen McGlawn last season. He said he wants to install a fast-paced multiple offensive scheme with the Seminoles. Campbell is a Columbus native and a Mississippi State graduate. He was previously offensive coordinator at New Hope. He has also coached at Itawamba AHS, Hatley, and Houston. And that does it for Newsbreak today. We remind you that this is just one of the many online offerings that brings you news off the page and on the go. Today, you can check out our Double Coverage podcast featuring Ole Miss beat reporter Parrish Alford and Mississippi State beat reporter Logan Lowry. New episodes are available in iTunes, podcast apps, or at doublecoverage.djournal.com. Each story discussed today on Newsbreak can be found in your daily journal or online at djournal.com, where you can also find a new episode of Newsbreak each weekday at 7 a.m. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Kiefer. Have a great Thursday.